Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Today I've got something kind of fun for you. I'm gonna try and show you the inner workings of the new Suorin Edge. It's not a myth that I enjoy Suorin product. This is the new one, and it's kind of weird because I almost didn't hear about this. It's not on Vapor DNA, it's not on Element, it's not on some of the bigger retailers online, and I didn't really hear any kind of promotion about it. So I'm gonna do my best. Here's what's kind of cool. I saw the prototype for this at the ECC in August, I believe, this last year. And the owner of Suorin was showing it to me, and I kind of gave my feedback, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, so I'm definitely not claiming that the changes that happened on this were because of me, but it is a pod that you can remove the battery. And I was really kind of excited about this because, you know, for me, I'm a very specific customer. Case in point here, let me show you. Those are for my phone. So I'm definitely the customer that would be the one to carry around extra batteries. In the box, it does come with two. I actually don't even have the box, I just have this, so bear with me here. It's kind of a cool concept, okay? It's slightly modular. You know, it's that kind of, you know, you put one in the little change pocket in your pants and you go, and as the night goes on, you swap your batteries or whatever it is. The pods are only 1.5 mil, so I don't necessarily see you needing multiple batteries per se to get through that 1.5 mil. Because of how they made this, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me talk about what I love about it, and then let me talk about what I wish I loved about it, all right? Because I do like this. I like the aesthetic, especially the new colors that come out are kind of cool. I feel like there's some flaws. It's not a bad product, okay? I have it, I like it, but, you know, if it was up to me, I would have fussed with some things. So before I get ahead of myself, here we go. The things I love about this is, well, the main thing I love about this is that it actually has a 5-click lock. This is gonna be really similar to your fire button on any other mod. You know, you click it 5 times to lock it. This has that. And the reason I think that's cool is because products such as pods have a little airflow sensor. And what that is, in 30 seconds or less, is it's a little cylindrical sensor that air can pass next to. And inside, effectively, there's 2 little really tiny sheets of metal. And as you breathe, you go, you know, on the pod, that creates suction, right? And so it actually brings pieces of metal up and touches the top one. That creates a switch or connects the circuit, and power is let go. When you stop breathing, obviously the suction drops and the little piece comes back down. So over time these kind of fail, or if it's in your pocket and you're running, there's pressures and things happening. It's nice to have a 5-click lock. The alternative to this is that they make the sensors really stiff, so you kind of have to, like, you know, that was a lovely face, wasn't it? You really have to go at it to actually get something out of it. This one though is gentle as, because they have that 5-click lock, they're able to get away with an incredibly lightweight and sensitive sensor. I actually really like that, just because it kind of gently, you don't have to like strain your neck muscles to get anything out of this thing. Beside the point, okay? Let's talk a tiny bit about the original prototype here, because the original prototype didn't have a USB-C, this one does. Finally a Type-C, right? Everyone else is doing USBs, but actually I find most of what I own now is actually USB-C, so this is perfect, fits right in with that. The prototype that I saw, top and bottom, there's a pod and a battery, both of them pulled apart, both of them went back together. Now the top of the pod and the bottom battery were at cut angles this way, this one's flat. So you could pull the pod out, and without looking, you could accidentally switch the pod and put it back in and it wouldn't fit right, or you could pull the battery out, flip it around, put it in the other way, and it wouldn't fit right. Okay, this one does flip both ways, just like that. Okay, well, now there's a fatal flaw, because while the pod flips side to side, and that's awesome because it doesn't require any sort of, you know, timing, so to speak, the battery doesn't. I was actually really surprised to see this, and I hope it's just a prototype that I've got that's not making contact somewhere, but right now, it ain't working. So the back, or rather, excuse me, the Suorin logo on both has to line up, and you get this little red, blue, green flash, and then you can draw. It should work both ways. There's no reason to say it couldn't, but it doesn't. It definitely doesn't. So I kind of feel like that is one of the bigger cons, is that you're sitting there kind of having to look at, especially if you're out and about, which is the whole purpose of having extra batteries, that you're like looking in the dark going, is that the Suorin side? Is that the Suorin side? Or you just kind of aimlessly do this until it blinks and you go, ah, got it. I think there's easier ways to do things, especially when it comes to a contacting battery. You can reverse the pins, it should be fine. Let me talk about the paradox here, okay? When you make something, I don't have an example, do I? When you make something like the Stig, you have your internals, you have the casing, everything's put together once, battery included, right? All that little sensor, it's all placed in there. Your price for the pod is what it is. Anytime you do this, okay, your price just to manufacture, your price just went through the roof, because not only is there the physical bottom cap that you see, you now have to mold this outer piece, and you have to mold the inner piece, the black piece inside, because again, we're not seeing the raw battery here, right? That is a case within a case. So that gives you a context for how actually big or large, excuse me, the battery is, and it isn't. It's like 230 milliamp. For something this size, it's a 230. I mean, yes, I know they give you 2 batteries, okay? That's the purpose of this product. Work with me here, okay? So, while in China, and I haven't made this video and I apologize, I went to a battery manufacturer and I got some extra batteries. And the reason I got some extra batteries was because I wanted to hack, can you see this? I wanted to hack my Suorin. But I have a battery for you here. So this battery is a 480 milliamp, which is pretty good size for what it is, okay? This is the new Suorin battery, the Suorin Edge. Now, of course, the battery isn't gonna be the full length because you've got your USB-C here and you've got, of course, the LED lights that make things happen. Just as far as diameter goes, this fits in beautifully, okay? So this is a 230. This is more than twice that capacity. And look how easily this goes in. Ready? This could have easily been fitted if it wasn't a changeable battery system. Now, here's the paradox. The paradox is with a modular system, it becomes more expensive, but you have those users that want that benefit. I am much more of a fan of doing a modular system that is far more efficient than a regular one would be. Yes, you've got a 5-click fire button, so it has to be of a certain size. Yes, I understand all that, and I like those features. The problem is that I just can't get behind the battery life. Great concept. I think the execution was a bit meh. Now let's talk about the pod a little bit, right? Because the airflow is good. It's restrictive-ish. I'll just show you on this one here. You can see this little collection of holes here in a channel. And then right at the tip of the channel, you can see there's a little divot. That divot ends up being there. My lip / mustache sits right at that level. So on more than one occasion, not that I'm like committing and like, you know, but if you're not paying attention and you put the whole tip in your mouth versus just touching the edge of your lips, you're kind of in danger zone of plugging up that airflow. Now, it's kind of a good thing because this pod is, I think, a lot better with a little bit less airflow. And it would have been a really easy and simple fix for that, either to reduce the inlet or just simply reduce the tolerances here. I very much feel like the filling mechanism on this is trash. And again, this is hard for me to say because I love Suorin. They've done so many good things. I wish this was better. I can tolerate it because, you know, there's a lot I can tolerate, obviously. All of these things are infinitely better than cigarettes. We're just being picky at this point. It is a valid claim. If you look here on the filling port, you go to grab this little flap here with your fingernail. This happened. That's not supposed to break, and it did. So this is supposed to come out like that, and you're supposed to fill there. Now the other issue I have with this, you can see that the filling port damn near hits the chimney. So that's going to do one of two things. It is going to lock in air bubbles in places you don't want to lock in, and you want to fill them with juice and not have an air bubble stuck. Secondly, once you get to a certain level of filling, the air bubble will either catch at that filling port around the nozzle itself and back up juice, or you're going to force air / liquid into the wicks. If you're experienced, as I am, I did this on purpose to pre-soak my wicks. If you're not paying attention, you've got a flooded chamber, and trying to drain that on this is gonna be quite interesting. I will say though, I haven't had any actual leakage. You know, I think there's improvements to be made there, specifically with the filling mechanism itself, or where it fills rather, and of course that little rubber fill port plug. So it is pretty good size for what it is. I think it's a cool design because no one's done it yet. No one's really achieved what they've done with this. And I like the concept. I just wish that there were some things different. Even just, you know, how I was talking about the cuts that flatten the angle, keep one of the bottom ones so that you know that you can't flip the battery. But because I can and it doesn't work, now we got issues again. So it's like little things like that, you know, just simple simple tweaks to the overall design, the overall aesthetic that would have made the execution far greater. So again, I like this product. I wish that I loved it. I wish that I fell in love with it. What do you call? I wish this was exposed more. I wish they did some promotion about it, or if it at least was findable on some of these other websites. It is available on DHgate. I think it's like 25 bucks, which, to be fair, having 2 batteries, a lot of your cost for a pod is batteries. It's a huge percentage of your actual overall cost. Everything else is either extrusion or molding or what have you. This should be much more expensive, but I don't know what's going on, but I wish I wish they put just a little bit more love into this one. I think it did. I think it deserved it. I think it was a cool concept. Again, battery guy, so of course I'm involved with this one. I love it. But yeah, if you're interested in this sort of thing, I think it's a good method. Please don't let my critiques, of the battery itself be that much of a discerning factor, because the battery's fine. It's just not as big as I wanted it to be, you know? In my mind, I look at it as an engineer and go, well, they could have fit this. Like, why didn't they just, make this the pod system with 1,000 milliamp, right? 2 480s. That would be amazing. But I understand why they did what they did. It's not what I would have done. But that's why I don't own their company. Otherwise, everything would be mechanical pods. No. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching and tolerating my ranting here. Please do subscribe if you haven't done it already. It really helps me, helps the channel. Like the video. If you have friends that are interested in Suorin products, or this one specifically, if you don't mind sharing the video for them, to them, etc., that would be really helpful as well. And like I said, I promise I'm going to do the whole Suorin hack, or show you the video of the Suorin hack anyway, so you can either do this yourself or just for entertainment reasons. So thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time, all right? Have a good one. Bye. I play with this battery a lot, so I kind of pull. Oh God. Perks of zero nicotine.